ended up getting knocked out.
Yeah, we gotta stop speaking these horrible
I need to
words.
just stop saying things about players at this point.
Right? Alrighty. Stuki though, right there, so close to his tempest. Oh, we're activated. Very well done. Looking to make a good rush. Alrighty, he ends up getting picked off even with that maximum health increase. Going off in the distance, attacking that hard point. 123-20. Woo! Absolute droppings on both sides.
High Command's starting to pull through and starting to get some points now.
EV8 going around down below, trying to find his way in.
Nice.
Finding Bud. Well done. And grabbing that hard point for High Command. Trying to turn these points around.
Looks like they're going to have to push up against Este. Couldn't quite get it against them.
Este, maybe, just maybe, he's finding his mojo that he had that previous round. Working himself into position just as well as he needs to be. Matrix trying to take up a nice vantage point.
Looks like Levitate's just going to let High Command take
oh no,
those couple
Visit,
points.
You can't shoot your own buddy. That's illegal. Alrighty, getting ready. Looking down at the southern border, seeing what they can do.
Like
Into the grappling hook, try to go in.
Really hard, couldn't get it against Stuki though.
Fortunately, the element of surprise was not enough to go up against a three-man team. Makes just drop in there. Taxi looking to try again at the southern tip. Only finding one though, unfortunate. Attacks from this lower side are not seeming to go well. They need to potentially find a new strategy.
I think at this point in the map, High Command needs to start talking about how they need to rotate on hardpoint, because if they want to keep pushing forward and try and go to this grand finals, they're going to need to start preparing for the next hardpoint map. Like,
oh, absolutely.
They have to start preparing for it.
If this were just a one-off, it would be nothing, but they know they're going to need to do this at least once more if they move on, potentially twice if they're having to come back to hardpoint in this same round against Levitate.
I mean, they're starting to earn a couple points here. Things are a little bit of a stalemate on this hardpoint, but Levitate now earning points again. I mean, they're just making the gap bigger and bigger and bigger between them and High Command.
A 110 difference in points right now. A
120,
very nice War Machine coming out of ADOCT. Working his way around. A beautiful Mr. Slam from Paxi.
Didn't end up picking his own teammate up, but at least he was able to pick up a couple people.
Yeah, he got two on the other side. You know what? That's what we need to start working for. Throwing in that nade. Not finding any targets though. More so just clearing out and scaring the enemy.
It's really going to be a hard comeback for them here. They have to stay on these points, and they have to keep earning points, or else they're just going to be canning it to Levitate.
Matrix deciding to take a look at the southern side once again. We're going to be watching that hardpoint alternate in approximately 10 seconds, so we're going to see Levitate hitting so high. If they can manage to hold this hardpoint until the end, they will be at 200.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Matrix ended up concussing himself there.
Sorry, Matrix. We love you, man. Alrighty, at 200 points approximately, Levitate is sitting pretty. They just need another solid hardpoint and then a couple points on the next. High Command really needs to step into gear. Oh, unfortunately, the Tempest usage gets shut down. Stuki sitting on his own Tempest, wondering when the time to fire that out would be. Just firing at a wall.
He was getting some hit markers there against Tex through the wall, so he was trying to kill him right through that wall, and he unfortunately couldn't get him, but Tex ended up coming through and taking him out.
Alrighty, looking around, Prodigy moving around. I believe that was the trophy system he just dropped, trying to keep himself safe. Levitate up on that 225 points, needing only 25 more to take this round. Tex doing some more lovely work up in this business. Lovely to look at. Tex on that 3-kill streak. Good stuff. I'm sorry, Tex. I'll stop talking about you, man. I love you more than I want to damage you like this. Back to Stuki. He's got that 27 and 14 kill streak on that KD. It's a beautiful place to be. Whoop. 27-15 on him. Unfortunate. Visit trying to walk around with very low HP, trying to go around the side. Oh, but getting picked off over from the side. That upper area is such a killer for you. You have your plan set. You know these 3 locations at ground level, and this upper elevation just ends up picking you off every so often.
Yeah, High Command is sitting down here trying to do their best to hold this hard point and gain as many points as they can. I mean, Levitate only needs 10 more points to win this map, and High Command's putting as much effort forward as they can to try and win this one.
It is, but we can note that, I mean, even Levitate, they capped those first 3 points of letting only 3 points through the cracks for High Command. It is something doable. Levitate, though, needing only 6 more, closing that gap, just trying to make that final push.
And they're just
And
grabbing
hard point
points
swap.
here as we
They're
keep
on that
going.
new hard point. 3 points to go until the victory for them. 2, 1, and the
Levitate's
first one
gonna
will
take
go to
it.
Levitate. Levitate is going to pick the first point in this overall fight in the loser grand final.
Yeah, losers final. This is definitely going to be an interesting couple maps here. Levitate looking really strong on hardpoint, but I honestly think High Command in S&D, they're going to be able to come back, and I think they're going to be able to grab this next map. I believe in High Command on this next one.
I think they're going to do their darndest. I think it's going to be wonderfully close. I don't think Levitate's going to let up. I think it's going to be an absolute sweep.
I mean, of course, Levitate's not going to let up. I think Levitate is an amazing team, and they definitely deserve to be in the spot that they're at. So does High Command. But you know me, I root for an underdog. I really want High Command to be able to come up on top of this one.
Oh, yeah, that's understandable. That's what makes this so nice about being cast. We can have those alternate opinions, bounce them off each other, and then absolutely gloat when one of us was right.
Exactly. It looks like we're going to be going to Gridlock here for our Search and Destroy for our next map.
It's been a while since I've seen Gridlock come up and around.
Yeah, Gridlock is one of the maps that's normally played on because people feel very comfortable on it, but I feel like people have been vetoing it to try and get people onto maps that they don't feel as comfortable on.
There is the irony of that. People who are more comfortable, they play a map more often, becomes a map they play less often in the tournaments, trying to mess around with things. Alrighty, looking around to see if we can get the A-OK from the various teams. Alrighty, one brief moment. We have a quick pit stop from the teams. They needed to take a quick bathroom break. Alrighty, we are running back right into these loser finals right here. Again, between Levitate and High Command Gaming.
Levitate was able to take that first map on frequency for Hardpoint, and we're going to be moving over to Gridlock for some search and destroy.
Lovely time to be seeing ourselves back on Gridlock. It's been a hot second before we've seen him here. Again, like we were saying, the team's so comfortable on this, you don't see it because they want the counter picks.
Yeah, it seems like people are counter-picking the counter picks of which counter-pick the counter picks, and it's just a big old mess, and they're playing on maps they're not comfortable with.
Oh yeah, it's a weird kerfluffle all around. Alrighty, jumping right into it. Again, like we've said all this way, it's weird going from these hardcore, high-action rounds at Hardpoint. Now we're moving into the very tactical area. Oop, S-Day peeking around the corner.
Oh,
ooh, ADOX with a great reaction time, taking out EV8. This is going to go in and try to find the two-piece.
And that's going to be a round one win.
Beautiful go for High Command, taking that very well. Absolutely incredible moves from Tex here. Whoop. Assisting his team, leading those shots as he knew the enemy would walk right into them.
Yeah, Tex is looking really good right now in Search and Destroy. He's sitting at 3-0 from that first round. Starting to get some points for him towards these score streaks. I mean, he only needs 4 or 5 more kills, and he'd be able to get this lightning strike.
Which, as we've talked about, in a round with limited lives is an absolutely brutal asset to have on your team.
Yeah, definitely. A lightning strike picking off 1 or even 2 people definitely help you out.
Be never so careful. Oh, Bud peeking out. Tex knowing his location.
FUD, sorry, almost picking up Addicts. Go ahead and push
He's
up.
gotta watch the back of CNS Day.
Nice pick
finding
up on
Addicts as well.
Oh, nice pick
S-Day
up on
dropping
S-Day.
as well. Tex going to town this go around.
Getting those kills he needed. As I was speaking of, he's only 1 kill off that lightning strike.
2 and 2. Can he get
push
this
up into Stocky? Oh, Docky.
Unfortunate!
1 kill off that lightning strike. It definitely would have been a big turn of events for his team.
Alrighty, we're watching that 1v2. Prodigy sitting pretty, wondering what he can do. Whoop, Matrix seeing it around!
Oh,
Ends up
unfortunate.
dropping
the
to
round.
Stookie.
Tech's almost able to clutch that for his team right before he died to Stookie. Could have gotten a lightning strike and made it a 1v2 instead of a 2v1 for his team.
It's a difficult situation to be in, that's for certain.
As we see Tex here picking up a kill on Fudd. Getting Este almost, and then being able to pick up.
This was just a beautiful work from Tex. Managed to knock out 3 of them. It's an absolutely incredible feat.
Yeah, Tex was definitely going off that round. And I really want to see him push up again on these next couple rounds and try and maybe get that kill streak.
Of all the people that we can trust going about getting it, seeing Tex with this 6-1, we know he's the guy we can count on.
Yeah, Tex is really looking strong right now for high command against Levitate in the search and destroy. I mean, you have Este on the enemy team at 3-2 and Stookie at 3-1, definitely looking strong as well. But Tex is definitely putting in work.
Tex just knows where to be and when to be there. We saw like he was doing earlier, he knows how to lead his shots, he can predict the enemy's movements and have them move where he needs them to go. Signs of an incredible player. Stookie getting picked off as soon as he peeks through that corner. Alrighty, right now we're stuck down to that 2-2. Back to Matrix and EV8. Oh, 2-3, my apologies. We have Adax, Este, and Prodigy. Oh, EV8 stepping into the wrong area.
And Matrix on that Paladin, it's going to be really hard for him to do anything here with that RK7.
Yep, unfortunate. If he can't find one person at a distance, then he is hosed.
And Adax was definitely had enough time there to defuse that bomb.
And moving it around, we're at that 1-2 now. 2 in favor of Levitate. You can see here as he peeks around, using that cover really well, looking through and just gunning down the entirety of the map to find his mark. And we're off again, once more, into the breach. Prodigy deciding to go high this time. Interesting. I've not seen a lot of people actively take that ramp to get up there.
He's trying to peek up and see if anyone's going to be over that truck. Try and peek in this door or this house to see if anyone's coming from over there. It looks like they're rotating towards bathhouse as well to try and take some precautions on this A-bomb.
Whoop. Moving ever so carefully. Este being so careful, realizing, whoop! Things from the back. He needs to be so careful with his life. He's not allowed to be as courageous as he usually is. He needs to be more tactical. A beautiful move from Stookie. That's what we need to see. That's when, if you want to get your team all the way through, that's how you play it. Well done, Levitate there.
Yeah, Levitate's looking really strong right now. I mean, High Command was looking really good, especially Tex, in those first 2 rounds until right up at the end before Levitate was able to clutch that second round. He almost had that lightning strike, and then Levitate's just been pushing forward with that momentum and keeping it up.
Indeed, indeed. Back up with that 3-1 lead. It's looking good for Levitate. This is where they want to be. They want a chance to return to those grand finals and showcase that they really do deserve that spot. Their loss earlier was just a sad fluke. Now that they've found their footing again, they're ready to rocket their way through. Let's see what we're seeing. But Adox getting low on health.
Tex 1 health.
Tex doing well. That is how Tex works. We've seen it before. We're seeing it again. Bud dropping through the wall there. Stay on taxi. Watch out, you gotta be oh so careful with only Stookie and Prodigy left. You are in that 2v4 range. Stookie going around trying to find the flanks. Does not manage to live. Gets picked off by EV8, aiming for Prodigy.
2 kills for Prodigy.
Doing what he needs to do. This is where he needs to be. Now, Matrix did plant the explosives, so we gotta be ever so careful with that.
He only needs 2 more kills to get this clutch this 1v4 if he can get enough time to defuse the bomb as well.
This is down to the wire. This is ever so... Oh, if the enemy team could just run away for long enough, it's a game of hide and seek. Burning time is all that needs to happen. Finding Tex.
Finding Tex, picking him
Letting
up.
it to 182
but
help.
Matrix was there waiting for him.
Absolutely. That's the issue when you have someone else on your team, you can indicate to them where the enemy is at all times. Should you drop, they've now lost the element of surprise.
Yeah, we saw Matrix there. Obviously, Prodigy didn't know he was there, but we saw Matrix there on the other side of that truck, waiting for someone to go for that bomb, but he ended up coming up from behind and getting into the engagement with Tex and taking him out, so he knew he was going to be weak, he knew exactly where he was, and he knew where he needed to push.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Prodigy moving himself around, deciding to move towards that bathhouse preemptively. Whoop! Finding EV, recognizing him from across the side. Going for it. Tex dropped from SD. That's an incredible pick from the very get-go. We know Tex can deal a lot of damage to this team. One-man tank himself. Axie dropping. Ready. Itchy trigger finger. He knows what he wants. He's waiting for someone. Just someone to spring his trap. Whoop! Catching a glimpse of him. He now knows where FUD is, so he has the chance that he can now predict where he's going to be. Prodigy walking through. Escaping with his life. FUD being ever so careful. Having to run away with only 54 HP.
FUD and Prodigy
getting double teamed is unfortunate.
As we could hear from the teams calling out, they called out right there to push him. They knew they were in a 2v1 situation. They knew they had the player advantage, and they knew that if they both pushed him at the same time, it was going to be near impossible for him to kill them both before he died.
Absolutely.
Right there, taking out his own teammate, unfortunately, for Matrix. But
yeah, not helpful in these limited live situations.
Definitely.
Rushing back in, Levitate up on that 4-2. Running themselves into the Soba house. Mantling up the truck, getting over that high ground, hoping to pick off any stragglers left behind. Oh, coming right upon him. Will he figure it out? He doesn't manage to get Tex from behind again. Getting Tex at the very beginning. An incredible pick for Levitate.
Yeah, I'm really interested in why Tex decided to hang out all the way on the opposite side of the map for such a long time. I mean, he was probably trying to catch someone off guard as they were rotating, but it doesn't really make too much sense to me.
Alright, being ever so careful. It's just Visit trying his darndest to jump. Oh, okay, he's gonna take out Este, but dropped the Stookie. Unfortunate for him. That's gonna give Levitate yet another point. Bud going ahead and arming that bomb, being ever so careful. There it is. That's the round win. Moving on to the next. Back and forth, back and forth. This is absolute agony for both teams.
This could potentially be the last round. If Levitate's able to pull this through, they'll win the map and be up 2-0 in map count, moving forward to control.
14 health left on Visit when he had that encounter. That's absolutely incredible. That's when you thank your lucky stars that you are still breathing and fighting the good fight.
Definitely.
And here we go. Levitate higher. These guys are going at it. They're going to try and end it all right here. We're seeing Matrix with that Tempest. Getting ready on that. Axie still only halfway to that Slam Jam.
Stookie and FUD playing it really slow, waiting for people to push up to him. I mean, the whole team of Levitate is just playing really passive this round.
Look at this. The way that they're going into a room, having one person enter to clear the room, be certain no enemies are present so they can all train their guns on a single individual, and Tex is the first one they notice. It's interesting. Let's see how they punish Tex, or if they decide to go off upon their own. Este planting those explosives preemptively. Whoop, up on Tex. Tex escaping about a third of his HP, but
almost
dying to him.
Getting hit by a Tempest.
The Tempest off from the side for Matrix.
And that's going to be
Matrix
it.
doing it to Prodigy as well.
Nice. That was a really nice Tempest from Matrix there, clutching the round for them, keeping them in the game on this map. 3-5. I mean, if they can win the next couple, then they'll be able to take this map.
Yeah, they'll be able to go back around and take themselves up to that grand finals. Just a beautiful defusing.
For a second there, they were starting to defuse, and then starting to not defuse, and I think they were trying to decide who had the highest score streak and who was closest to give them that, you know, those extra points from
yes,
defusing.
clever. Actually, I hadn't even thought of that, to try and maximize score streaks that you can manage.
Yeah, you do get points for defusing the bomb, so if they're able to give it to whoever's closest, they can try and edge them over to getting that lightning strike.
Flick. Alrighty, and here we go. Still that 3-5. Levitate is right there. Hoping to take this for themselves. Moving themselves around. Prodigy again checking his corners. This team trying to stay as tight-knit as they can. Deciding to go off on sides. Matthew Matrix getting a pick.
iCommand looking really good right now. They're up 5-2 right now.
That's
if they can keep pushing up.
absolutely brutal.
And as I say that, they dropped 2 players to SD and Prodigy.
Wait, so even if I start talking about high command, I can push my boys Levitate all the way?
Maybe.
Oh, Eviate doing oh so well, loving life, living easy. Eh? Oh. Ooh, running around Este, trying to do his best. Narrowly escaping with his life in that instance.
Oh.
Dropping to Eviate, doing his darndest, getting a sweet, sweet double.
Gonna keep high command in this map. They only need to win 2 more. Well, 1 more and they'll tie it up, 2 more to win the map, while Levitate still only needs 1 more round if they want to take this map towards their favor.
Four and 5. If I'm high command, I'm feeling really good. If I'm Levitate, I'm genuinely scared. No need to pee the bed at this point. You're at 5-4. Just do what you've been doing. You can manage this.
Command's looking really strong coming into this round. They won the last 2, so they definitely have a lot of momentum to push them forward. They also have, you know, this heal from Crash to give them some extra room on these engagements.
Gotta watch out for those as they come in.
Bud dropping to Tex.
Alrighty, we're seeing some various specialist weapons come into play.
ADOX.
A well-played ADOX, utilizing that war machine. SJ working his way around, trying to check those corners. Knowing that if he's not vigilant for even a single second, he is guaranteed to die. And just lose that extra edge that the team has. Right now, it's only Matrix and Paxi up against ADOX, Este, and Prodigy.
High command can keep Levitate off this bomb site from planting, but also stay alive. Paxi dropping.
Ooh, Matrix on ADOX.
No. Levitate taking the round and the map.
Very well,
They
very
were
well
so
done.
close to holding them off from planting that bomb, and if they had stayed alive while being able to do so, they wouldn't be able to take that map, or that round at least.
Levitate, breathing a sigh of relief. They managed that one. Alrighty, looking themselves around. This is the scary place to be. You're ever so close. You're so close right there, getting to that 2-1. You're aiming for that 3-0 streak. You want to be in that grand finals. You want to see that prize.
Alrighty, Levitate is up 2-0 over High Command in the map count right now. We're about to go back into Gridlock, but this time instead of Search and Destroy, we're going to be having some control.
I do love me some Gridlock.
We're just going to take a second to make sure with the players that both teams are ready to go for this next map.
If I were allowed to give my own two-put, my own desire, I would have loved to be able to see all the various payload. I want to see more payload. But you know what? I'm A-okay with where we're going. As long as my boys Levitate, utilize it as well as they can. Alrighty, waiting for that A-okay from both teams so we can go ahead and jump on in. Alrighty, and that's the A-OK. We're getting the thumbs up from both teams. We are good to jump right into Control Gridlock.
Levitate definitely have a lot of momentum moving into this map. They played really well on Search and Destroy. Now it's time to change things up, be a little more aggressive on here on Control. And they were doing really, really well. They had a big advantage on Hardpoint over High Command. I feel like Levitate's definitely going to be able to push forward and take this map, as much as I want High Command to come back and, you know, sweep it backwards. But Levitate, I have to give it to them. They've been playing really, really well this set.
I love my boys Levitate, but a word of caution. Even Icarus was confident. You know what happened to him.
Exactly.
We got to be ever so careful. Don't rest on your laurels. Know what you're good at. Execute the plans as you know they need to be done. Working their way around. Matrix dying almost immediately. Working on this control point, seeing if they can get that quick take. We know how that works in the previous rounds.
Levitate taking kill after kill. Stuki almost dropping there. Levitate hasn't dropped a single life so far. They've already taken 6 away from High Command. Definitely looking strong here in the beginning.
Absolutely. Levitate trying to get onto that map, trying to see Stuki take it from behind. He notices Matrix, but Matrix is relaying that information to the rest of his team.
And it looks
EVA
like
dying though.
The first death for the team. There's still
Very well done
lives.
from Stuki. Proper tactical usage there. Working their way around. A-Doc's doing his best. Whoop, watching out for Visit. Peeking his head right there around.
Buster Grenade coming over for Visit. 18 health. Getting out just barely.
Whoop. Being ever so careful watching those sides. Este finding the kill, but dropping he himself. Everyone being ever so careful. No. Ooh. Beautiful stuff, wiping out a ton of the High Command units there. High Command relying only with 12 guys left in that health pool. Levitate sitting pretty on 19. A-Doc's looking around, hoping to find his goodness. Moving back up with the team, looking to make a concentrated push. Oh,
ran
Visit!
Right into multiple people there.
Visit trying to make that move around. However, it was a real issue. He didn't know there was already a firefight going on. Tex getting a 2-piece.
High Command, 5 lives left against 13 from Levitate.
That's not a fun place to be. Visit dropping around into that slide kill. Seeing who else he can manage. Stay off the distance. Oh, unfortunate.
Reload.
That need for reload is a real issue here around. Bullet conservation is a totally new aspect that you need to work with.
And that's going to be it. Levitate taking the first round here for Control.
Very well done, Levitate. Very well done.
One more round closer to making their spot in the grand finals.
Getting ready to jump right back into it.
Cookie, we're looking really good right now on this map. 10-3, definitely putting in a lot of work, getting really close to that Tempest. He's about 3/4 of the way to it, and he's been putting in some work with his Maddox.
Absolutely. We know how Levitate works. We know they're looking to go in with all 5 men, take that point as soon as possible, make it a 5-man rush.
Yeah, if they're able to take this point super quick, then they're going to have a lot of time to work with the second
Being
one.
ever so careful. Oh, contested point. With such a small area, you have to know where that is. Still contested. You got to find him. Unfortunate. A-Doc's working his way around. Going through the bathhouse, finding Visit. And he wins the exchange. Matrix coming in, immediately getting floored by Este.
We're going to go ahead and capture that zone A.
Very well done for Levitate.
Rotate over towards this B side, trying to take that as quick as they can as well.
This is where they want to be. They now have another full 2 minutes to knock off either a 20 lives in that health pool or go ahead and capture that B point, both of which absolutely doable for our boys Levitate. Around where to go. Oh, poor EV8 taken from below. Unfortunate place to be. This is trying to heal back up and manages to take out Este. A good thing. We're going to start seeing High Command hopefully go on the offensive. They realize that they need to give everything they've got. Go full ham on this. Whoop. Beautiful. This is what they need. Bringing that life pool back around to that 14-18. Trying to even it up. Oh, but still dropping at just too exorbitant a rate. Stooky going absolutely poggers here. Capturing that zone B. Oh, brief contention.
Getting really close here.
Up on that second tick. Matrix dropping he himself. Down to 8 lives, 7 lives. Aiming for that 100% capture. Paxi trying to touch just to move it a little bit. And it goes over again to Levitate.
Levitate's definitely looking really strong on this map. Only need one more round to put themselves in the grand finals.
This is a terrifying location if you are High Command.
High Command's definitely not a team to be looked down upon. I mean, they've made it this far. I mean, they're guaranteeing themselves some money no matter what happens in this map or this match, but they're definitely looking like they're not up to par with how Levitate's playing right now.
There's something about them right now. They're just kind of falling through the cracks. You are right. They've managed to make it to the top 3 out of the 20 in this tournament. Nothing to be overstated. That's absolutely incredible seeing the competition they were up against. This time around, though, as you start reaching those top seeds, those top locations, you really have to test yourself.
Alrighty. With this Tempest, gonna try and push forward and grab a couple kills with it, and just try and keep High Command off of these points.
Moving themselves around. Stooky trying to find a good vantage point. Oh, managed to pick Tex.
But Paxi was just behind him on that little balcony, and he didn't look to his right, so he didn't know he was there.
Este moving around, doing his darndest. At a 10-9. Ooh, Paxi living it at only 22. Managing to survive, trying to go around.
More machine gun out from Attic.
Ooh, hunting down Adox. Ooh, Paxi doing his darndest. Este set with that tack, wondering when he's going to use it just so we can give that extra boost to the rest of his team. Making certain all of them are alive simultaneously to get maximum usage out of it.
High Command's definitely putting in a lot of work on the second point. They've taken one already. They're starting to take that second tier. They just ended up losing it, sadly, but I mean, they've got the first tier already, so they only need 2 more on this one point, and they've got 1:50 to do so.
Absolutely, that's plenty of time. If they keep their cool, they slowly but surely do this, there's absolutely a way that they can take this through. They are not to be counted out just yet. Oop, Este popping through. And finding EV8 in the distance! Well done! Ooh, shooting FUD just a little bit. You notice him a bit groggy there due to that grenade.
The cushions definitely make things a little weird for you. You move so much slower, and you have to hit fire. You can't really AD, and it's just such a weird condition to be in.
Oh, Este getting floored by Tex there. Tex the machine. We know how he goes around.
Nice 2-piece by Paxi.
Beautiful slam jam.
Trying to move over and get Stooky over here. He finds Este, but Este ends up taking Paxi out.
Alrighty. Looking at it, we're still waiting on the rest of those specialist weapons. And the round is a loss there. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, High Command able to capture that zone there at the last second. Definitely something they need to get this momentum started so they can push forward, win the next round, and keep that momentum and push again forward to win this map, because they have, if they want to stay in this match, they have to win this map if they want to try and make their way to grand finals.
They have to go as ham as they went that last time around.
Already looks like EV8 over here rotating towards the bathhouse, coming into FUD. Prodigy picking up Paxi.
Again, everyone moving as hard as they can. High Command not having all 5 on the point. They've got 2 of it off. Only 3 left to defend against Levitate. We know their penchant for going in as hard as possible on this immediate motion. Working around, picking Tex at the distance. Well done, Adox.
I definitely think that High Command needs to push this point.
Oh,
I mean,
66%. Working up on that 90.
They just picked the last 2. They're not going to be able to push towards this point. They have to rotate towards B at this time.
There it is.
And try and stop him from taking that.
2:20 up on the clock. If I am High Command, I am sweating at this point in time.
Yeah, they're about to take the... They almost took the first point of B there. That was really close for High Command.
Well done on High Command. Getting their stuff together. They know how to stop them. Visit leaving with what I thought to be 3 health, but dropping there in the process. Working themselves through. Levitate, this is all they need to move back to those grand finals. Another chance to prove themselves.
Dookie and Prodigy looking really good here, both with 22 kills.
Woo.
And they're putting in a lot of work for their team here. We have Prodigy with a Hellstorm. He's almost got himself another, or he's almost got himself a gunship here if he gets one more kill. Might be our second gunship of the tournament.
Show it to me. Show me the good stuff.
Couldn't quite pick him up.
Oh,
is he going to be able to get it?
He sees Paxi. Will he be able to take him out?
No, so unfortunate. Oh.
I was really hoping to see that extra gunship. That would have been a fantastic assistance for High Command, almost guaranteeing their spot in this round.
Yeah, if Prodigy would have been able to pick up that gunship, definitely Levitate would have been able to just take this round from there.
Alright, Este on that point, contested. Put himself around. Prodigy on a beautiful 3-piece. 9-16, this is a scary position. Again, High Command, they are down time, they are down locations, and they are down manpower. Oh no.
Cluster grenade.
Getting in by the cluster! Unfortunately fished out by the both of those. Zone B having that capture, working up towards that 3rd. Tex dropping at a distance from Este, keeping his cool line of fire steady.
3 lives for High Command. Take it 2, make it 1.
There's
EV8 and a whole army, but he
and
couldn't
there
quite do
it is. Your boys Levitate, moving on to the grand finals.
Forsaken this, you wear my heart on your sleeve, making broken choices, breaking what I'm aware, you're my one and only. Promises.
If it's silent in dismay, it won't break this feeling down. If I conquer this my way, I'd devour, I'd surround. If it hurts you just a little, then it heals you when it's done. Disappointment is the anchor, resolution is the sun. If it's silent in dismay, it won't break this feeling down. If I conquer this my way, I'd devour, I'd surround. If it hurts you just a little, then it heals you when it's done. Disappointment is the anchor, resolution is the sun.
Hello, welcome back to AGN Ohio. I am Jordan, the owner and event coordinator of Complex Esports, and I am here with...
Tony. I am the owner of AGN Events.
That's not all. Come on, say the rest.
Oh, and I'm an S&D star with 7 total golds online. Thank you.
7.
7 people. I'm telling you, I used to be great. Man.
He took a picture of each one and sent him to his mom. He's so
Man,
proud.
I was so proud. I was like, Mom, here's the cash. I got the golds.
Okay. All right, well, we are back here to remind you we are getting ready to kickstart grand finals here at AGN Ohio. We will be deciding a finals MVP after the match. You at home watching the stream will help decide that MVP. We want to clear up a little bit of confusion. That will not be the deciding factor for MVP. We here at AGN Ohio will also be deciding who will be the finals MVP. However, we do want to remind you still, your donations to the stream will go directly into the fund that will pay the AGN Ohio MVP. So make sure to send in those donations because they are going straight to the MVP here today. Anything else?
That's correct. No, that's it. Thank you for clearing that up, Jordan.
Thank you, Tony, for just being you.
Oh, thanks.
All right, we are out of here.
Inside the earth and wait for the fires to start. In your all that remains of a world in chaos, broken by change. We are light in the dark, calling out for something to spark, and we'll hide in the graphite deep inside the earth and wait for the fires to start. In your wizard, what do you see as you twist the tiles beneath our feet? What do you see?
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so today we've got with us for the grand finals, starting on the left, for Aspire Nation, we have on the farthest left, HUD. Standing up next to him, you know we have Jake, the proud and true. Falling there, we have Birdie. Following close there next to him, Jorday. And rounding out Aspire Nation, you know we have Druxy. There then, starting on the right side, also holding the trophy, the coveted trophy both teams are looking to win today, we have Fudd. Followed quickly then on his right by Stooky. By the third then, the man whose name I will get correct, I swear to God, Adox. Followed by Este, the man popping off, the only one to get the gunship this go around. And rounding out Levitate, we have Prodigy. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your teams in the grand finals!
confession that you're my obsession. You're pulsing through me. The blood is rushing and I am trusting you'll come save me. My knees are feeling weak. Your body's close to me. I want you to come rescue me.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we are here at the Grand Finals. It's been a long and grueling 2 days. Both teams fighting and clawing their way back. And this time around, we actually do have the rematch. This time around, Levitate pulling it back from that loser's bracket, back into the Grand Finals. It will be Levitate versus Aspire Nation here in the final rounds.
First map here is going to be Hacienda of the Grand Finals with some hardpoint. We've seen, as you said before, we've seen Aspire Nation and Levitate played against each other, and Aspire did really well against them on hardpoint. So it's really interesting to see how Levitate has talked to each other and decided how they need to change things up against them to try and take this first map away.
Levitate does have the plus side though. Coming off the victory, they're feeling hot. And indeed, because they were in that loser's bracket, they are having more practice, less time to ice, and they have been ready and warmed up this whole time with egos ready to go. Ready to prove Aspire Nation they are not to be trifled with.
I'm definitely going to have to say, if I had to choose someone, I'd have to go with Aspire Nation on this one. They've been looking really strong all weekend. They haven't dropped a single map at all this whole tournament. I mean, they've just been looking fantastic.
I am absolutely curious to see how they continue going with this one. Both teams making it this far into the Grand Finals and now having their pride on the line. I'm certain we'll be seeing some beautiful plays from both teams. George going around trying to get that sweet pick from the flank, and it absolutely connects. You're seeing some new tactics as they start to emerge. Everyone working around way smoother than they have all game long. George trying to cape that hard point. Good for Aspire Nation, moving for that instantaneous 10 points. Druxy doing his job, looking around. Got to keep on that left side, Druxy. You need to make certain that you don't get flanked. Keep your team alive, protect that perimeter. Hardpoint being left alone at a stuck between 11 and 6. Aspire Nation deciding to start capitalizing on those points. So tends to see here in this Grand Finals, even this first hardpoint, everyone is going as hard as they can on it. George deciding to snake around, knows he can get just anything that he wants to, as long as he's stealthy about it. Este going ahead and mantling up, getting ready for that switch in the hardpoint, going off to the flank, deciding to see if he can clear out one of the routes so his team does not need to worry about fire from that direction.
George looking really strong here. He's sitting at 5-2. He just took his second death. I mean, 5-2. He's starting to streak up. Prodigy over here on Levitate sitting at 5-3, trying to work towards some streaks as well, and interacting with Jake over here and Birdie. We're gonna see how he takes this 2v1 situation. Oh, cluster grenade! Super close.
Pud on that two-piece. This is absolutely incredible. Both teams sitting pretty on this very even point score right now on this hard point. 20 seconds left on it before they're required to do that rotate. Moving themselves along slowly but certainly, snaking their way through the mansion on Hacienda. Both players, both teams, knowing this map inside and out and utilizing that game knowledge to their fullest. Watch himself, Jord getting caught off guard by the two of them on the other side. You hear them as they get going. Levitate hitting up with that 56 points, already reaching a fifth of the total goal that they need.
Prodigy's going to come up behind Jord here and get the pick. Sees Jake, takes some shots, misses him.
Moving himself along slowly but surely. Prodigy sitting pretty, aiming down sights, hoping to find someone. HUD walking right in through. Adox picking him up though.
Barely escaping away with 48 health.
Birdie
there.
and Jord, yet another team kill. We've been seeing this a lot over the course of the 2 days. In these close and tight encounters, no one really knows where they're supposed to be, and we end up having a couple friendly casualties. Stooky, well done on that turnaround. Dropping Jord himself as well.
Looks like Birdie is rotating over towards this next hard point, waiting to take it once it spawns.
Sitting pretty, hoping, however, he doesn't notice that he's getting taken from both sides.
There was 3 people there. There isn't really much you could do about that.
All right, and that'll be moving straight over to Levitate, capping on that initial hard point there.
Levitate's looking really strong in this first map. I mean, Aspire Nation did take, all 3 maps against them in the winners final, but Levitate is sitting pretty right here with a 50-point lead and gaining. I mean, they're definitely looking really strong against Aspire right now.
It was absolutely incredible. The last time that we saw these two still at the top in the the finals for the winners bracket, Levitate got absolutely served. Here on this hard point, they were taken down without any remorse, and now they're coming around and showcasing that they have learned from that mistake and will not underestimate Aspire Nation again. Prodigy getting a sweet, sweet 2-pick. Just trying to work their way along, keep these team fights as topped off as they can. Recognizing the muzzle flashes, trying to stay alive. Este still getting caught off guard. Drux and Kuhn on a very nice 2-piece.
Fudd finding Fudd. Jordan ended up taking off that kill from him.
Very nicely coming from behind, making certain to catch those blind sides.
Oh.
Este at very little HP, managing to find a death by Birdie.
Este able to get a 5-man health boost there with Crash. Definitely going to come in very nicely to give him some cushion room with being able to take an extra shot or 2.
Absolutely, these early attacks are wonderful to use. You manage to keep your team at a higher HP range that as many bullets will not kill them. We got to be so careful watching those trophy guidance go out, though, as we're going to be knocking down any of those war machines like we're looking to be seeing immediately.
Oh, he got him.
He did get him, but after the post-mortem.
Exactly.
Levitate double the points right now than Aspire Nation. Aspire Nation sitting pretty at 69, while Levitate's at 123.
Jordan ended up taking 2 people with his grab slam, but he ended up taking out himself.
Jake very carefully watching those sides, making sure not to let anyone through. Adox ended up dropping. Jake at 14 health does manage to bite it, coming from Prodigy.
Yeah, that was a really weird engagement they had there with Prodigy. He was trying to shoot through the windows while also trying to heal at the same time.
Working his way around. Aspire Nation closing that gap.
Nice.
We're seeing the Tempest move around.
Fire starting to gain some
plenty.
more points. Only 25 points behind Levitate.
Aspire finally getting their heads back into the game, closing this gap. You can hear both teams as the tensions start to rise. They both realize that this is absolutely crucial. This initial hard point is a match you cannot get back later. Setting around, watching through those various corridors.
Fresh hard point here. Levitate's starting to make that gap a little bit bigger with each second that goes by that they're on this. Aspire needs to start taking Druxy there with the 2-piece. He needs to start taking a couple more. They want to take this. Fudd taking him down with him.
Still a difference of about 50 points. This is very crucial for Levitate. They need to get this first point.
Firing Birdie.
Watching himself around those corners, utilizing that wall. That rampart is a lovely area to provide some natural cover.
I'm interested to see how Fudd's going to use this grab slam to his advantage. If he's going to zip line in and try and get a nice slam there, or if he's just going to run into a room and pop it.
Oop, unfortunately, he does end up dropping.
It looks like Spire's just going to go ahead and rotate a little early over towards this next hard point before the Vineyard goes away.
Understandable. With only 5 seconds left on that clock, it's time to start moving that as soon as you can.
Oh,
that
Jason
initial
shot in the
capture
back.
is so crucial. It's a great, easy point that you can begin to cap. Working themselves around up to that 180. Only needing 70 more points to pull this round to a victory. Aspire Nation needs to pull this around. They're still walking at a fun 140 if they want to take this victory. Jord getting a slick kill from SJ, just peeking around the door frame. Garage is a dangerous place to be. You run into far too many small corridors. Oop, being ever so careful. Looking through this door frame yet again. Using those lines. Aspire Nation up on the 135, closing this gap back down to a 50. Gap is only a 40 now. That's the total of a single hard point. Nothing that neither team can manage.
Aspire's definitely starting to make that gap a little bit smaller, and they really need to start earning more points on this next hard point. They have to rotate over, and they need to take it early, and they need to take it for a long time.
Adox dropping both Druxy-kun and Birdie. An incredible play from him right there. As much as he can keep the other team, he can't let them respawn, he can't let them be anywhere. Important to know that as you move through main, you are being covered from all sides.
Yeah, this hard point's definitely the hardest one, I think, to keep because there are so many angles that you can get shot at.
Through, taking out Dookie. Off the distance, it's important to note that their ability to keep down this aim down sights, they are incredible at tracking their targets and leading them where they need to be. Moving himself along.
They saw there was 3 seconds left on that point. They wanted to go ahead and try and take it. Stookie with the 2-piece with that Tempest.
Running themselves around. Levitate is only running. They're at that 220 mark. They only need to be at 250 to take this point. Stookie looking around more for that Tempest. Dropping before he can find anyone else around that corner in the garage. Well done, Este.
Nice.
Well done, Este. Keeping them off the point, allotting your team more time upon the hard point. This is Levitate doing what they do best, working with the synergy, playing off Este, utilizing these people to their best. Only 6 points left for Levitate before they take this initial round. .162, Aspire Nation trying to bring this back. Not an unreconcilable amount, but they need to hit that full 80 points if they want a chance at this.
Yeah, they're going to have to take this hard point. They're going to have to keep it for the whole minute and not let Levitate get any points off this. They only need 6 to win this map.
That's an absolutely terrifying place to be. 6 points is something so easily dropped. If you even blink for a second, it could be over.
Definitely.
Jord working his way around, utilizing the natural cover of the vineyard. Fudge dropping him, and Jord as well. Unfortunate Levitate taking the final points, 248, 249, up to the 250. Levitate taking the first round, and these are the grand finals.
Levitate putting in a lot of work there, taking the first map of the set and making Aspire lose their first map of the whole tournament.
Absolutely incredible plays from both teams. It's interesting to see this time around as Levitate showcases they will not lose a second time to Aspire Nation. You can hear the joy from them, crowd. You can hear them through the microphones. They are loving themselves and recognizing their own abilities here. A friendly reminder to those in chat, anytime a donation goes through to chat, it will be going towards whoever wins the MVP award following the grand finals. Alrighty, and now we're getting ready. What, sir, can we look at for our next map and style?
Looks like we're moving over to Gridlock for some search and destroy. Going to be an interesting event here with Levitate taking the first map of the set. And like I said, having Aspire lose their first map of the entire tournament. Aspire did end up winning in the winners final 3-0 against them, though it was getting really close there at the end for control. But Levitate's looking really strong right now.
They're definitely coming in on the hot streak. Having come in from the win on the losers bracket, they're looking to take this as far as they can.
Waiting for players to get set up again real quick for this next map. I do just want to remind people that there are AGN Ohio shirts available if you are interested. They'll be on complexesports.com starting tomorrow. That's going to be COMPLEXESPORTS, Complex Esports. They will be available at midnight tonight. AGN Ohio shirts, go ahead and pick yourself one up. Support the event and support these teams that are here in this grand final.
Alrighty, we're waiting for both teams to get together ready again. Coming off of their last victory, they need to settle down, get into their seats, and get prepared, get their minds mentally readied for the next run on the Search and Destroy. Less of that pure carnage of the hardpoint like we're used to seeing, and again, back to that tactical setting.
Won't you come and rescue me?
Alrighty, both teams have informed us that they are ready for the next match.
And like I said, we're going to be moving into some Search and Destroy on Gridlock. Levitate coming off a win on Aspire, like I've said multiple times, first loss of the whole tournament. They have to be feeling good about themselves. They have to have this momentum. They need to push forward and try and take a second map and try and reset the bracket. If Levitate is able to win 3 maps in this best of 5 against Aspire Nation, they'll be able to reset that bracket, bringing Aspire into the losers bracket, and we'll start again on another best of 5, and whoever wins that will be grand champion, unless Aspire can find something within themselves to try and push back and win this first set. What?
Alrighty, getting set and ready. Everyone moving towards those bathhouses. Making their way out and around, trying to stay towards that south point on the map. Around FUD, finding HUD. They managed to escape. We got Stookie trying to cover that corner in case anyone decides to peek out and through. Searching around, a lot of silence. Birdie, unfortunately, offing HUD in a team kill. Absolutely unfortunate here where you have no respawns. You cannot afford to off your own members.
Definitely not. It's really unfortunate when that happens. I mean, there's nothing that can be helped in the aftermath, but when you look back at it, it just really sucks that they didn't really communicate that he was pushing a little bit further than Birdie anticipated.
Aspire Nation, they need to keep their communication up. They need to get this together. They are running at an awful rate right now. I need to see them turn it around. I want to see them do their best.
It's a 2v4 right now. Aspire is definitely have a lot of work ahead of them in this round. They ended up picking 1 kill. Este did end up picking Jake. Whoop. Oh, right as Jord pick him up, Stookie is right behind him.
Like we've said, Aspire Nation does have the benefit that should they lose through this first round of the Grand Finals, the bracket will reset as they move on to the losers bracket, and we go again for this Grand Final run. So while they are safe, it's just best to get this out of the way as soon as possible.
Yeah, they do have a lot of wiggle room here. They have a whole set to get a feel for Levitation, a whole set to see how they're playing and how they're maneuvering around these maps and try and prepare. I mean, obviously, what they're going to want to do is they just want to end up winning outright and winning this first set so they don't have to play them again. But if it does end up coming to that, they'll have a good feel for them and try and push through and win that next one.
Absolutely, absolutely. Here we go, just slowly staking out the land, trying to find where the others are, get this team communication going. Watching these members in real time is real interesting. Their faces are glued to the screen, absolute concentration across their faces. Looking himself around, getting through, going to the bathhouse.
Yeah, this. Oh, HUD and Jake.
Estan
both
Adox. Ooh, Jord taken from the back in a blind spot he could not see through. Ooh, very well done, very well done. That's going to be another round to Levitate.
It's really interesting to see how this is going on because when Aspire and Levitate played against each other in the winners finals, Aspire ended up beating Levitate 6-0 in Search and Destroy.
It was absolutely brutal last time around.
Right now, Levitate's up 2-0. I mean, it'd be really interesting to see if Levitate ends up pulling a 6-0 against Aspire and saying, listen, here, you beat us 6-0. We're not taking that again.
I would love to see the full reverse sweep. It really is exciting to see in these grand finals to watch these incredible teams go against it and defy all expectations. Everyone looking around, trying to gather their bearings. All of Levitate trying to stick together this time around. Certain they could win a team fight if they all stay clustered.
Jake getting absoluted to 42 health. Almost got taken out.
Watching out for those clusters. And Jake does end up dropping to Prodigy as he makes that rush on through.
Gord was able to pick up Prodigy right after he took out Jake. Seeing FUD, nice team shot.
Absolutely incredible. You see the teamwork there. He knows that someone's going to be on his back, so he decides to cover him.
It is a 3v1 right now against Adox from
yeah.
Levitate, but he's not in the best situation right now.
He's only got those 16 seconds left on the clock. He needs to get going, otherwise he's going to go out of bounds and try to let himself...
Yeah, I feel like there's no way to get out of bounds on this map. I feel like he's just trying to run away, run out the clock, don't let them get any kills to up those score streaks, and just make it a little easier for his team next round.
Oh yeah, no, here out of bounds is just effectively hiding as best as you can.
But I mean, you never know, you could turn the corner and just run right into someone. Aspire Nation taking their first round against Levitate here in Search and Destroy. Definitely looking a lot better than those first two rounds.
That's what we needed. That's what we needed to see from these guys. This will help get them on that winning streak. I think if we can get them a little bit of confidence, they'll start moving along their way.
There's a really good positioning here by Jord. Him and Proxy both just team shotting FUD right as he turned that corner.
And everyone's setting up and getting off to the races. Moving off this time around, deciding to go towards that point A, file in almost instantaneously. Getting towards that bathhouse, make certain to cover their sights. This open area is a real killer. Looking around, people on the ground, gotta be ever so careful.
Three people just dropped
Bud
from
and
Aspire there.
going absolutely nutty. We watched the explosive get planted, so we're gonna be changing around that attack timer. Alrighty. HUD doing work, trying to turn this around as best as he can. It's just HUD and Jake. Jake dropping it is exclusively HUD now up against the rest of Levitate. He will be also walking back to attempt his out-of-bounds nap.
I guess I was wrong. There is an out of bounds on the map, but...
Come on, man. I know what I'm talking about every so often.
Hell, every now and then. But he was just trying to make it so they don't get any more score streaks. Just reset the round, give them a fresh start on this next one, and just try and use that momentum from that one round they won and just push forward.
Moving on, getting them on through. Going to that bathhouse almost immediately. Again, we notice this to be a great position that everyone wants to start at.
FUD took out
another
Stoogie.
team kill. Unfortunate from these professionals. Whether they're professionals or not, the fact that they've made it here to the Grand Championship proves their own abilities.
And
you can hear the joy from them.
It.
That's pretty radical, I gotta be totally honest.
Even with that team kill, they were still able to come up on top on that one life deficit.
That's Levitate for you. They really are always up on it. Even when you count them out, they are managed to pull around with that surprise win. Woo. Just good stuff to see.
Yeah, Levitate's definitely feeling good about themselves right now. Being the dominant team in this match so far, just putting Aspire where they want them and just taking control.
Alrighty, looking around, trying to keep with that high ground. Gonna look to pick any pots as they can. Druxy just barely escaping from that imminent death. Jordan's gonna snake on around, see if he can pull anyone from those flanks. Get behind him and mess with him from the back. Running himself around. Jake just narrowly escaping again. Jord managing to find Este, which is a fantastic pick for Aspire Nation. We know Este's been doing some wonderful stuff this go around. That's a great asset to their team.
Jord Druxy in a 1v2 and taking out Prodigy right as he was able to check out 2 people. Clutch that round for their team. Keep them in the game 4-2. They're looking a little bit better right now.
Absolutely. They seem to be finding their foothold. They're getting that team synergy working this time around, and they know what they're doing here on the Search and Destroy. A wonderful play from George. Walking around, sliding wherever he needs to be, and flying right into the victory. Opening up with attack. Alrighty, this is a great plan. Both teams deciding to do it, getting that extra health before they go into that first initial fight, looking to keep their team entirely topped off.
It's really interesting that both teams decided to pop their attack health boost, and you know, you normally, if one team does it, it's going to give them a little bit of an advantage in these firefights, but both teams did it, so it's just going to even things out at this point.
Yeah, it's just back to the normal.
Exactly, it's going to even things out a little bit, but it is interesting to see that both teams had the same exact idea to go ahead and pop them both.
Ooh, interesting to see we're already at that 4v3. Levitate down 2 players. Adox and Prodigy both. Fud taking a hit as well.
With a 2-piece on that gravity spike, that's really good for them. They only have one person left on Levitate to take out to win this round.
Oh, Este just barely, and he does end up biting it off the distance by Birdie.
Aspire starting to look a lot better here in the 7th round of the Search and Destroy map.
Pulling it around to that 3-4.
Really nice 2-piece on that gravity slam.
Just slick. A lovely specialist tool. It's just a lot of fun to see used. Adds to a lot of hype in the matches.
Yeah, gravity slam's always been one of the ones that I've always gone to. It's so much fun to use, and it's really just so good. The other one I would have to say other than that is going to be the Tempest. Tempest has so much range. It's so good because you can, just as we just saw right there, it'll tag you, and it can tag teammates as well once you're tagged.
Ooh, very well done. That Tempest being put to great use.
Only 2 people left on Levitate and on Aspire.
Ooh, Prodigy dropping. Only Fud left to win his team the victory up against Jake. He does take Jake with a 1v1. He does drop. Levitate here kind of slipping up. They got to be ever so careful.
Evening it out 4-4 on this Search and Destroy map. Aspire's definitely looking a lot better right now.
Oh, most certainly. They found their funky groove. Woo. Some wonderful stuff coming from Prodigy. Alrighty, working in again, making their way towards that center point. We got a couple guys going up top, looking for that high ground to see if they can grab a couple cheeky snipes. Adoc's trying to play it careful in the bathhouse over here.
Fud finding's like 3 or 4 people here.
Yeah, Fud recognizing the entirety of the team, but being smart enough not to engage, knowing he will not be able to take out such a team. He needs to group up and move his way slowly. Oh, Fud taking shots from the outside. He only just barely escaped with his life. Jake recognizing he's being tactical. Oh, no! From both sides.
Prodigy took out Fud right after he took out Jake. That's really unfortunate.
Levitate, boys, what are you doing? He's on your own team.
Only one left on Levitate. 1v1.
Oh, Skooky just barely surviving.
Oh, Birdie was right
Biting it
there.
on the stairwell.
And now, for the first time on the Search and Destroy map, we're seeing Aspire Nation above Levitate in round score, 5-4. Definitely making a really good comeback here, and they only need one more round to take this map.
This is a scary place to be. Getting ready, we are off right to the races. Everyone again rushing towards that B point, recognizing how good it is.
We do have a couple people rotating towards A just to see it and check it out, but
It's almost all of Aspire Nation.
Yeah, as we can see, it looks like B point has been the absolute favorite of the points to plant.
Both teams deciding on a different point. It's interesting to do this initial gamble. You have a 50-50 chance of starting a team fight. And so you've got to be prepared. You are either going to find nothing and realize you've got to kick it in gear to get it over to that other side, or you got to be ready for the immediate fight that's about to ensue. Both teams still topped up on lives. No one lost. We do have Jord with that kill streak, though. We'll be seeing if he puts that off at any good time. Jake getting ready, wondering if he's going to find anybody. Birdie dropping it to Stookie. Unfortunate Stookie with a double! Taking off HUD as well. Jordy calling the lightning strike. Managing to pick off Este, someone we know has been doing phenomenal throughout the entirety of this tournament.
And Jord coming from the side all the way from A-bomb.
Oh, it was just 8 on club, then he ends up losing it! That one's not going to be going to Levitate. You know Aspire Nation is feeling good about that, putting themselves back in the great running.
Yeah, you have to realize how well played that was by Jord. I mean, he was watching that bathhouse bomb for so long, making sure nobody snuck behind to try and get a sneaky plant. And he had that lightning strike to be able to pick up one person, and they didn't know where he was coming from. And so they were able to just rotate to the side and come up behind and get a pick, and they just ended up being enough for his team.
Truly an incredible play by both teams, but it was, in the end, Levitate somewhat choking, I would almost say. They had such a great streak going, and they ended up losing it so entirely. I'm curious to see if they're able to pull themselves back around coming in to round 3.
Yeah, it is really sad to see that Levitate wasn't able to pull that through. They were doing so well in the beginning of that map, and then Aspire was able to just find whatever they needed inside of themselves to pull themselves up and push forward.
All right, we're going to wait to get that confirmation from both teams that they're ready, and as soon as that's happening, we'll be moving into the next map, which you know is going to be Control on Frequency. Looking for the A-OK, giving us 1 second. And we have the A-OK from everyone. They are ready to go ahead and jump right into this next match. Now that we're back to Control, it's less of that tactical style. It'll be more of a bit brute force, working to capture those various points and try to deplete the general life pools.
Yeah, last time we saw both teams together on Control, it was a very close game. At least the first couple rounds. I mean, Aspire was able to come up. I believe it was 3-1.
Yes.
Or it was, no, I think it was 3-2. It was really close. But I'm really interested because no matter who the winner of this map is going to be, we're going to go back to Hardpoint.
Yep.
And Levitate was looking really strong against Aspire on that first Hardpoint map. And I want to see how Aspire has adjusted themselves to counteract Levitate and just try and take that map.
Absolutely. Because Levitate was doing so well this time around here in the Grand Championships. However, back when they were both still in the winner's bracket, Levitate got absolutely trounced by Aspire Nation, getting almost perfect victory there on that hard point. Alrighty, immediately moving around to those various A and B points, trying to do everything they can. Levitate trying to be ever so careful, making certain that does not get captured. Feeling unfortunate, they're trying to get themselves about them. Bud gonna group up, go to the high ground, and see if he can pick off anyone from a distance, allotting for their team to make a swift move in. Even trades back and forth with the lives. No real extreme change going on. Birdie and Jake doing well. Birdie going for that nice little two-piece. Capturing that zone A. You know Aspire Nation's doing everything they can. As soon as they take a tick, that tick is permanent. Moving up, they're at 66% on it, so very close to taking the full 100% and giving themselves more time to move back to that B point. And there it goes. Zone A captured. Another minute up on the clock, and they are ready to move over to B.
Aspire Nation's looking really good right now. They're up 4 lives, well, 3 lives
Oh,
now.
unfortunate.
But still, they're up in lives, and they've got that first point. So things are definitely looking in their favor at the moment because this point does already have 1 tick taken.
Yes, it does. They managed to do that early on. That's the great benefit of going for both at one time. If you can manage to get 1 tick on both, it's less you have to do later.
Exactly. If you're able to take one of them at least, that's a whole tick on the other one that you don't even have to worry about in these 5v5 engagements.
It's time that you don't need to have spent later. Working themselves around. George finding some nice stuff. Birdie
Takes the
taking out
Hellstorm.
Adox.
That second tick is gone. Almost has this
Oh,
map.
and there they
there
go. They're going to try to
contested.
contest it with tooth and nail. They're going to stream in, trickle in as fast as they can. Make certain this does not get contested.
Oh,
They're going to try and cap
not
it.
quite enough. Takes
And
the
it
first
goes. Aspire Nation managing that first point.
Spire's looking really good right now on control here. They quickly took that first point, and they were already able to get one of the thirds on the second point super early on, which made the end game of this map super
Incredible
easy.
tactics. It's just smart play. That's the game sense that you need. You need to know that you need to budget your time as best as possible. Getting ready, everybody running in. This time around, we've got the Aspire Nation on defense of the control points. Oh, however, so many of them are looking to go to point A, whereas Levitate decided that they would be moving towards that point B, trying to make the immediate capture with the 5-man attack.
Yeah, they do have all 5 people here, and they're going to try and take it as quick as they can, but Birdie did call in that lightning strike and see if he can find anyone with it. It doesn't look like he did, sadly, but it does look like B is starting to drain back downwards for Aspire.
Unfortunate for Levitate, they had such a great move, but they were shut down so immediately and thoroughly that they had to back off and lost all progress on it. That's just time burnt, and that's something you cannot afford to have. Ooh, some beautiful stuff from Stuckey, going off at that long distance, managing to take out Jord before he becomes an issue. Okay, that zone B, they are up to that first tick, moving at that 50%, trying to get that 66th percentile so that they can manage to keep that. Very well done, that's 2 ticks on zone B. Dropping Druxy-kun, very nice, however dropping he himself in tandem. Oh, those very brief encounters are something you gotta be very careful about. These tight corners, as soon as you round it, you may very well be met face to face with an enemy.
There's only 36 more seconds that Aspire need to hold out from giving them this B point, because if they do take it, they will get another minute on the clock, and they don't want to hand that to them because that's a whole nother minute they're going to have to struggle trying to keep A away.
Absolutely.
They are on A, so it is stopping the clock from going down at 28 seconds. They're able to take them off and keep the clocks going back down. Addicts.
Adox trying his darndest, managing to find HUD. However, at such low health, he's got to be ever so careful. Oh, A is going. A is going to reach that first tick. Very impressive. A well-played strategy over on Levitate's side.
Oh no, he ended up getting taken out.
That's unfortunate. At this point in time, you need to get that travel. You got to get to those points as soon as you can to make certain that that clock does not drip any further.
So they're starting to take B flag at this point.
Ooh, HUD got to be ever so careful, about to get double teamed by Estee. Adox finding Birdie. And Estee finding HUD as well, making certain that his team is safe in securing this point. Working their way towards that second tick. Very well done by Levitate, getting that second tick, working their way right towards that third. If they can, again, they will get that extra minute time that they can move on that B, which already has 2 ticks already taken.
They have a whole minute to take this one little piece of the B flag to try and take this round from Aspire, but Aspire was able to pop that heal to give themselves some extra help and try and just stay alive and keep them off of this B point.
It is necessary to note, though, both of the live pools are getting dangerously low. Levitate only affording 1 more respawn before they are going to start eliminated from the match
Both
itself.
teams only have 1 more respawn at this point. 1 more death, and it's going to start going into your
There
final
it goes.
life.
Aspire only has 4 men left. Levitate, no respawns remaining either. Bud dropping it. He will be removed.
Oh
Oh no, there they go. 2 to 3 this time around. 2 to 2.
no. And they were able to take the round,
They
heaving it up.
managed to do it. Absolutely incredible. It's going to be 1-1, Levitate and Aspire Nation. Alrighty, getting ready to jump right back into that experience. We're going this time around, Druxy-kun and all the rest of his team, Aspire Nation, looking to capture these points on the offense. Splitting up a bit, interesting to note, they do not have the same game plan as Levitate. Levitate, so well known for their jumping in 5 men on a single point immediately. Aspire Nation is trying to play out a wall of attack and cover their grounds before they move in. Doing some mad stuff. Jake is over on that side. I would like to give a little bit of love to Jake over there at that 15 and 8 KD ratio.
Yeah, Jake's looking really strong over here, but you also have to look at ADOX. He's 13 and 11. He's looking really strong as well, trying to work his way. Well, I have to say that I was stage trying to work his way towards his lightning strikes, but as it's been today, the caster commentary curse has not been in the players' favor.
Caster's curse has been a real issue this time around. Every time we find someone we love, just a very brief unfortunate. Oh, we see the Tempest out, managed to find 2 of the Aspire Nation. Druxy-kun dropping 2 of them. HUD taking out Este in response. 20 and 18, these health pools are steadily decreasing. That A point only has 1 tick right now. There's the chance that Levitate could take it back around. Moving, trying ever so desperately to get that second tick.
Nice.
They're gonna do it! Very well done. That's that 66%. 2 ticks going.
They're going to take this zone. They're going to give themselves an extra minute, and as you can see, the enemy team just decided, you know, Levitate was just like, they're going to take this. There's nothing we can do to stop them at this point. There's no point in rotating towards it. We're just going to go ahead and rotate towards B point and just try and defend this as well as we can.
Absolutely. It makes sense for them to move over to that B point, find where they need to be, set up, and get ready for what they know to be the oncoming onslaught. Everyone looking around, kind of floating their own way. Different people down mid, up north. It's interesting to see where they're going. They're all looking to kind of take out health at this point in time.
We say ADOX here with the War Machine. We also have Birdie on Aspire with his as well. And he's still sitting on a Hellstorm, which it looks like he's using right now. See if we can pick anyone with it.
Go.
Couldn't quite pick it up anyone.
Just falling short.
Does have his Purifier that just spawned right now. I'm really interested to see if he's going to save this for the next round, or if he's going to go ahead and try and use it here to clutch this round out for his team.
He still has that minute and 6 seconds left. I think if he used it here, he would be very well off.
Trophy system.
They're on that first tick. With still a minute and 6 seconds to go, that's plenty of time to do all that they need.
Nice
Prodigy
pick.
dropping. Very well done by Birdie.
Only 5 lives left for both teams. 4 for Levitate now.
Unfortunate, we are down to the no respawns remaining. Birdie's gonna drop as
3.
well as Bud. It's a 4v3 at present time.
Oh,
ADOX dropping while in prone.
2 lives for Levitate.
Trying to capture what they can. Oh, this is unfortunate. The 4v2 is not somewhere you want to be if you are Levitate. Again, you're already on that loser's bracket side, so if you manage to lose this, it will be it for you. It will be curtains.
And that's going to be it for Aspire.
That's going over to the Aspire Nation.
Taking the round, going 2-1 up in the lead on this map for some control. Both teams, that was a super close match, but you had to notice at the end, there's only 4 people left on Aspire and only 2 left on Levitate. They knew they were capping it. They were right there. They saw the meter going up, but they knew they couldn't push forward right away because they only had 2 people left. There wasn't really much they could do until the end where they decided we have to go forward or nothing at this point.
It's the point in time where you know that if you move forward, it is the requirement for winning. However, you will be walking into such a bullet hell that you've got to be very careful and choose your timing very specifically. Moving themselves around, making a mad rush for that point B and point A. Druxy decided that he wants to stick at that point B, make certain no one's going to go for it.
Picking up ADOX here with the team kill.
Unfortunate. It is these close corners.
And the second one on Prodigy.
Este, buddy, I love you, but you got to stop. These tight corners are a real issue for any of these individuals. It's just way too easy to pick off men of your own. Alrighty, Este and Prodigy starting to turn this around, making certain to get those picks. Moving themselves along. Important to note that that A point does have 2 ticks taken on it already.
Yeah, I feel like FUD definitely needs to step his game up right now because you look, he's sitting now at 7 and 22, and in a game mode like Control where you have such a limited amount of lives, and it's really putting a deficit on your team at that point.
Absolutely, he's running an almost 1-3 ratio for that KD, and that's not something you are allowed to do to the rest of your team.
Yeah, it's not something he doesn't want to be at. I mean, he's proved himself in previous maps that he's good.
Yeah.
It's just he's really struggling right now in this Control match.
Yeah, something here is just, it's not jiving with him. HUD going through. HUD biting it to Este as he attempts to mantle over that back wall. Walking around, trying themselves out, finding Jake, but unfortunate drops to Adox. Everyone back in those respawns. Levitate left only to 12 people. Aspire Nation sitting pretty at 16. 14 to 11. Moving through Adox, very methodically checking his sights, going around the various pieces of cover, making certain he knows the enemy is not somewhere where he will be punished. This is what they need, these shots coming from Stuki, knocking down the enemy. Aspire Nation just needs to lose a couple more people and Levitate will be safe and sound. Whoop, Druxy-kun escaping with only 22 HP, trying to run away. Does manage to find the kill on Este, a very well-executed ordeal. That Zone A is gone, everyone trying to mad dash on this Zone B with just under a minute on the clock.
Lives are really close right now. Sitting at 8 and 8. It's definitely coming down to the wire on this one. Aspire, if they are able to pull through, if they can take this map and, keep themselves in the set. But
Birdie dropping. They no longer have any respawns. This is an unfortunate place to be. With only 3 people left, they're going 3 up against 8. Jake, HUD, and Druxy trying desperately for dear life to hold on, but HUD dropping. Adox fighting it as well. Jake falling, and this one will end up moving over to the Levitate.
Yeah, they're leaving up the match. It's 2-2. If Levitate's able to pick up this round, they're going to be able to be ahead in this set 2-1, and they'd only need to win one more map to reset this bracket. But if Aspire is able to pick this up, they're going to be that much closer to winning the set and winning the grand finals without having to play another set.
Coming into that full
Levitate.
loss. The good thing for Levitate, if they can make this round, they'll be going back to that hard point style of play, something we know they excel at. And with any luck, they'll be able to do that again and get that initial victory real quick, real easy, and jump right into the re-bracket.
We see Stuki here with the Tempest.
Oop.
Almost died with it.
Oh, he's looking around. He's got to be ever so careful. Oh, he does manage to find with the collateral, but it does
quite
not
get
manage to capitalize on the Tempest. It's a real shame when those spec op weapons do not use their full potential. Adox looking around, he's trying to stay safe, keep the rest of his team up, but managed to drop to Jake. All of them looking around, trying to see what best they can manage. Prodigy sitting pretty on some score streaks. I'm interested to see how he goes about utilizing those, lad. Prodigy on that 7-kill streak. This is pretty impressive. He's got to start getting those around. We may be able to see a gunship if he keeps himself up, topped off, and killer.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to see if he can pull out that gunship to be the second person. Well,
And just like that, Prodigy
away.
ends up dropping. However, he's still sitting with those 2 score streaks. He will be able to use those to great effect throughout the rest of this match. Knowing that they're both 2-2 and that this is the final round here on the control point, he will be popping those whenever he feels best necessary. He's got to maximize on trying to drain that health pool. Capturing on that Zone A, Druxy-kun just kind of standing there, making certain he can do whatever he can. Moving his way slowly, attempting to get that capture point A. He may just on his own. Yes, he does. He manages to find it. So that is 1 tick on both A and B. A great place to be if you are Aspire Nation. Up on that A, trying to get that full 3. At the very end. Yes, they do manage to take it, and now they only need 2 more ticks on B point to be able to make that victory this round. 13-15 on that health pool, something very dangerous. Both teams need to start budgeting their lives ever so carefully. They have to stop being as reckless as they've been. Have to be very careful. Very well done, Adox. A wonderful reaction time,
Almost
picking
picked
off
up
Birdie. Druxicune hoping to catch anyone unsuspecting as they come down the ladder.
I feel like these teams need to use whatever they have because we have Birdie over here with a War Machine. We have Jord with, you know, a Grab Slam, and we almost have Druxy with attack boost. They have to start using these things because Adox over here and Fudd both have their Grab Slam and War Machine as well.
Don't count Prodigy out. He's still sitting pretty on that score streak that he can drop at any given time. When he feels people are up in that open area, he will absolutely go to town. You can hear the teams there in the background absolutely feeling the
They're able
heat.
to capture this point. They're able to win this round.
Hellstorm and Lightning Strike coming on in.
Prodigy picking up 2 people with that Hellstorm.
Oh, absolutely incredible. That is what you need to be seeing.
Not
Grab Slam being shut
no.
down just before impact. Both teams running at a 6-6 with 50 seconds left on the clock. We're entering that territory where respawns will no longer be occurring, where any death could be their last. Aspire Nation no longer having any respawns. Druxicune getting the Hellstorm, may need to call it immediately.
Picking up Adox,
Very
making
well
them
done.
only have 4 lives. 3 now.
Oh no! This is when it starts getting dangerous. This 5-3 is going to be hell to conquer.
Oh no, Hud and Druxy both dropping to Stookie.
Yuki going ham up in this business. Oh, but being
Stookie.
caught off guard by the double team. Capturing on that zone B.
Nice pick by Birdie.
SK dropping. Gotta be ever so careful. Prodigy versus Birdie and Jordan.
And he picked him
Oh!
up.
Absolutely incredible move from Birdie.
Birdie with the nice clutch on the map, able to pick up this map for his team, making them up 2-1 in this set. They only need to win 1 more grand finals. Levitate has to start thinking here, what can we do? Because they have to reset the bracket at this point. They need to win these next 2 maps.
They absolutely need to reset it. If they don't, I mean, obviously they're out. They're at the loss. What they need to do right now is showcase how good they are at hardpoint once again and prove their own abilities. Alright, we're going to let both the teams settle down for just 1 second, let themselves get back into their gaming mindset, and we will have them go. Next time around, we will be heading off to Hardpoint on Gridlock. Fun to return back to that lovely location. Again, Gridlock, something that teams are very comfortable with, but that we're seeing a bit rare. Now, the reason being they want to do those counter picks. Everyone feels so good on Gridlock that they got to be careful that they give the other team an advantage. Alrighty, we're getting the A-OK from both teams, and we're going to jump right in to Gridlock Hardpoint.
I'm really interested to see how Aspire is going to come back from this on this hardpoint map because Levitate was really strong on the first one. Granted, it was on Hacienda, so it's a different map. It's going to be a fresh start coming off. You know, they're going to have that momentum coming off from Control. And I really want to see Aspire push forward and win this map personally because they've shown before that they're super strong and they deserve to try and push as hard as they can. But Levitate's also shown that they're here to stay because they've been taking maps off of them and they're the first team to do it.
Slowly and steadily, I'm looking forward to see Levitate put up the best fight that they can. One more time, I'd like to remind everyone in chat that any donations that we do manage to get will be going to the winner of the MVP prize at the end of this grand tournament. Alrighty, looking around up top, trying to manage to find some sneaky picks, and immediately Druxicune peeking his head up and around does find a death to Prodigy. Prodigy finding again, also managing Jord. Great location to be. He's got a great surveillance upon the rest of the map and can punish anyone who's out of position. Prodigy working his way around, making certain that he knows what he's doing, staying safe up top, trying to earn those score streaks as soon as possible.
Aspire looking really good right now, 11-0. Not a ton of points, but it's definitely putting them in the right direction they need to go
It's a great
if they want
start.
to win this.
Prodigy, fearing, trying to keep those score streaks alive, decides to move out of his sniper nest. Birdie deciding he's going to try and punish that. Moves in and takes out Este. But Prodigy taking another Jord. Running their ways around. This time, Levitate managed to get the rest on this hard point, so they're going to be moving towards trying to get as many points as they can in as short a time as possible. Este dropping, standing out in the open just a little bit too long, manages to get punished. Aspire Nation back on picking up that hard point. They are dead set that they do not want to see this bracket reset.
Is he going to use it?
Is he going to use the water? Is he going to take the tactical route? No, he's going to look for ADOX first, and he's going to jump off.
I'm a fan of using that water to fling yourself forward and, you know, make some aggressive plays that people don't expect you to make.
Oh, absolutely. Get those highlights. Alrighty. HUD returning up to that bird's nest where he saw Prodigy at earlier, but getting punished as he drops down from it.
Spire's looking really good right now with 72 and growing against these 8 points that Levitate have.
If you're Levitate, you need to be oh so careful. This is your final shot. This is not someplace you can be allowed to be. Levitate taking that initial capture on the new hardpoint rotation. Fud looking at it, but Fud dropping to Jord as he slides in. Knocking out the rest of Levitate, taking that hardpoint for Aspire Nation. It's a real issue. They just keep dropping faster than they can respawn, and Aspire Nation is allowed to capitalize on that with the hardpoint. Oh, moving ever so careful. Moving so quick. Jord getting that 2-piece.
Jord's looking really strong right now with 2 kill streaks on him.
Yikes, moving around.
Man, not going to get that gunship anytime soon, but he does have a lightning strike and a hellstorm to his use.
Both items useful specifically here because they have so many hard points that go into an open area that can have those score streaks go crazy.
Yeah, that hellstorm's going to really come into handy here when they move towards that middle map for this middle hard point.
Working themselves around, Jord back on capturing that hard point, getting Aspire Nation more points under their belt. Levitate sitting pretty at a 17. They need to start turning this around as soon as possible. Seeing far too many. Stuki on that 1-5 KD. Not a great place to be for your team. The rest of them just going ham. Aspire Nation taking no prisoners, taking no names. Este dropping to Jord. And we see the grab slam hitting a beautiful kick on ADOX and an explosion caused by Collateral taking out Prodigy. Working around, we see that War Machine out. We're going to start fishing for kills. Throwing off the explosives wherever he can find them. Working themselves around, getting on top of that money truck, trying to be ever so careful, utilize that Spec Ops machine as best as he can. Aspire Nation back on that hard point, going back up to that 153, keeping Levitate stuck at the 27. Not even a full hard point's worth of points.
Yeah, Aspire Nation is looking so strong right now at 161 and climbing at this 27 points. This is the complete opposite of what was happening with Levitate on the first time they played hardpoint in this set. I mean, you see Jord here using this lightning strike. Birdie's got a lightning strike. Druxy's got a lightning strike.
Good Lord Almighty!
We have 2 Hellstorms. Aspire has so many kill streaks that they're going to be able to use to their advantage to just keep pushing this lead further and further.
They say lightning doesn't strike the same place twice, and that's absolutely true. It looks like it's going to be striking 3 times. Working themselves around, Levitate managing to get this hard point again under their belts, trying to mitigate that point gap. This could be it for them. If they let this hard point slip through their fingertips, this will be it for them in the grand finals.
Levitate has a lot of work to do if they want to come back from this and not drop the map and the entire set against Aspire Nation.
Ooh, Prodigy doing very well, going out, getting his kills, returning to heal. Every so often peeking out with great aim, great dedication. Aspire Nation back on that 175. They are ever so close, only 75 points away from the victory, from the full victory in the grand finals. To be so close, it must be nerve-wracking, realizing every move you make could be your last.
Druxy's putting in a lot of work here, picking up 2 kills.
Oh, good lord, he's just moving right along, isn't he?
Finds FUD, couldn't quite get it, but HUD was able to pick him up in the end.
Very useful. This is absolute teamwork coming from Aspire Nation at its finest.
And Aspire is looking so strong, they still have 2 Lightning Strikes and 2 Hellstorms to their use. And Levitate is over 120 points behind with 0 kill streaks. It's not looking good for Levitate right now.
0 kill streaks for Levitate, but do not count them out. They have almost all of their special weapons up and ready to go. Looking at that, they immediately drop the tack, trying to get this initial push going in. With the new hard point, they need to be on top of it. Aspire Nation only 50 points away from the victory. Jord dropping whilst on the point. Jake as well. Levitate moving themselves in and deciding to cap this point for themselves. Ooh, HUD making some quick work, but Adox punishing Birdie and Jord for overextending. Oh, and Druxicum just finding the cheeky prone kills. Getting ready, Druxy getting ready to use that tack. Unfortunate, getting absolutely cross-fired from both sides. Alrighty, Levitate looking to pull these points back around up to that 71. Aspire Nation just about 25 points off from pulling it all home. Lightning Strike being called in by Druxy. Will it find its mark? No, but Adox finds the War Machine and uses it to full extent. Oh, Jake going ham though. Even without his specialist weapons, he is finding everything he needs. But being ever so careful, kind of changing around that combat zone. Oh, Druxy just picking him off from behind. Druxy on 2-piece. Recognizing that the rest of them were down there, is debating to go out the outside so as not to attract attention. Goes around, gets FUD from the back as well. And goes in the full forward, taking out Adox to finish it off. Jordy calling it a Hellstorm.
Putting in a lot of work.
Jord with the 3-piece, finding that Hellstorm at its finest. Absolutely terrifying. 5 points left for Aspire Nation to take the final round. 48, 49.
Aspire
50,
takes it.
And it goes to Aspire Nation, the full winners of the grand finals. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw it here on stream. It's Aspire Nation that's managed to take out Levitate, going through these 20 teams, an arduous 2 days time frame. But Aspire Nation managing to go through undefeated the entire run. These are the wonderful players, the wonderful winners of AGN Ohio's AM circuit.
I did just want to congratulate Aspire Nation for winning the AGN Ohio event today. They definitely earned it. They put in a lot of work. Being undefeated, they only dropped 1 map in the entire tournament, which was to Levitate here in the grand finals. And they totally earned it. They put in so much work, and they definitely earned it. I did want to remind everyone that we are going to be voting for an MVP here in a minute, and any donations that come in through the stream are going to go towards that MVP prize pool. And also, if anyone would like to pick up their own AGN Ohio shirt, they will be available at complexesports.com. That's complex, C-O-M-P-L-E-X, esports.com.
Thank you all once again for tuning in with us. Stay here to find out the MVP that we've decided to choose for this final grand finals. And I would give a lot of love to Levitate for putting on an excellent match and making this so very entertaining.
let's be friends. You only need what's best for you and not them. Don't pretend. Now I don't wanna lose sleep, thinking about everything we could be. Let's just see what comes to be. She said, we're all made in Hollywood, fake loving and hating on silver screens, believing everything we come to see. Go outside, it feels so good. We're loving and hating and making scenes. Now we just see everything we believe. We just see everything. We just see everything we believe. We just see everything we believe. We just see.
Hello, welcome back to AGN Ohio. I am Jordan, the owner and event coordinator of Complex Esports. I am here with your AGN Ohio MVP, Druxy. Now, Druxy, this was a long weekend.
Oh yeah.
You guys almost didn't drop a single map. You only lost one map, and that was in the finals. How does that make you feel? Were you expecting that?
Coming into this event, our team didn't really get to scrim much because I had to play at Fort Worth, so we didn't get to play that much. But I knew every person on my team was talented, so I didn't expect us to not drop a map, but I was expecting us to definitely put up a fight for winning the event.
All right. Well, you guys definitely put up a fight. Put up more than the fight. Okay, so what do you think made the team click so well? Do you think it was just individual gun skill, or do you guys just mesh really well?
I think it's just the fact that everyone was able to listen to calls and no one was wanting to argue about it. We all trusted each other to pick up lanes, pick up kills, and I think that's basically what led us to winning the event.
Yeah. Well, if I was in your position right now, I'd just come up here and say I'm the best. That's what I would do. Okay, so kind of expanding from that, what were you really expecting from your team? Honestly, when you showed up yesterday morning, what did you think you were going to do? And how did you think other teams were going to perform, of the ones you knew that were going to be here?
I definitely expected our team to place in the money from all the teams that I saw and some teams we scrimmed. But I was a little surprised by some teams that came out and put up a huge fight in hard points and control.
All right. So, you have any final thoughts about the event, about your team, about anybody else?
This is my first AGN event, and I enjoyed it, and hopefully I can come back to another one and maybe win it.
All right, we'd love to see you back here. So, once again, I am Jordan. This is Druxy.
This is Druxy.
All right, we're here from AGN Ohio. We'll go back to intermission real quick, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with some closing remarks. Thank you.
I'm left behind, obeyed the line, but always a gone. You're for me at the bottom line, I lie afraid. Are we in the same place? Falling.
Here at AGN Ohio, it's been a pleasure seeing everyone here and seeing the competition here. It's been great and a lot of fun. And Portsmouth, Ohio was a lot of fun.
Dude, this weekend was lit.
It was.
Can I say that on stream? Wait, I make the rules. Yeah, I can say that on stream.
You can definitely say that on the stream. But anyways, guys, we really appreciate the fact that you donated to the MVP prize. It actually came out to be $38.50. So Druxy, congratulations on $38.50. You got that locked down. Thank you for tuning into the stream. I actually really enjoyed seeing you guys tuning in the stream. I think we peaked at 520, which is awesome, by the way. It's one of the highest I've ever done, which is freaking awesome. So
definitely the highest I've ever done.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
No one wants to watch me.
All right. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Jordan, you got any last words?
Appreciate everyone that was here. Seriously, every single person. If you were here this weekend playing or watching, or if you watched online, thank you. I hope it was worth your time. I would hope to see you back. If you weren't here, I hope to see you here next time. That's it.
That's it from here at AGN Ohio. Thanks for tuning in.